Hey everyone, it's me, Speed Force Master. I'm making another video, and I know it took a little while, but I didn't really know what video to make. But now I figure I might as well do it, especially because in the last one, aka the first one, I had thoughts of making my review on why The Flash Season 6 was by far the most disappointing season. Now, keep in mind, I don't think that this is bad in any means. This is only my opinion. I don't hate this season. I can still enjoy it like any other. And, by the way, I don't really know why people have it so high on their ranking. I mean, if you're one of those people, explain to me why. Although, if you're one of those people as well, I don't think this is the video for you, so yeah, you can save your time and don't want to hear any bad stuff about it. Well, before I do, I'm going to start off with the good. The first half of it I really liked. I mean, Bloodwork is an awesome villain. He's actually one of my favorite villains of all time. And it was a great build-up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And Crisis was actually my favorite crossover. And I'm glad that I found out I'm not the only one who thinks so. I know a lot of you are disappointed with that, although I enjoyed it. That's not the reason why I've been disappointed. I've been disappointed because of the second half. Everything after Crisis. Well, during Crisis 2. Let me get to why. So, well, before I get into what went wrong in Crisis, I'm going to be explaining the whole reason why it was so disappointing. And you noticed it was one of the things I didn't like. And also, the main thing I rant about, and that is Red Death. Well, if you don't know who Red Death is, you probably heard my last video, although I was just making my theory about how Reverse Flash can take over Bloodwork as his host, but we're not talking about that right now. I'm doing my review for Season 6. Anyway, it was back in Season 5, Episode 12, when Barry and Nora went into Iris's memories. Well, actually, Barry and Iris went into Nora's memories, who's their daughter from the future. They saw young Nora watching a video of Cicada talking about how many people he's killed, and compared that to Zoom, the main villain for Season 2, another serial killer, and a mysterious villain called Red Death. And Red Death is also a serial killer like villain in the comics. something like this has happened before back in season 3 when Abracadabra, this guy from the future who knows who Savitar is, shows up. He doesn't tell them who he is. He only compares how much of a threat he is to Thawne and Zoom and a mysterious person named DeVoe. And then we got DeVoe in season 4 as the Thinker. And I remember that night I watched that episode of season 5 and I was so hyped. Like, literally. Red Death is one of my favorite characters from the comics and awesome villain too. And then anyway, back to what went wrong with Crisis. And that was how long the break was. Okay, well, first episode came one day, the next came the next day, the next came the next day, but the next two came the same day, only 1 month later. And normally we would have been waiting that long for the second half of the show's seasons, not a crossover. And then we've had to wait another month for the flat season 7. Not season 7, the rest of season 6. And once it was episode 10, I was so disappointed when I found out it was not Red Death, but rather Eva McCulloch, aka Mirror Mistress. Okay, I'm not saying she's a bad villain or anything, although why did they waste such potential not using a villain mentioned like they did with DeVoe, and now they're using a villain gender bent, one that we've already had back in season 3. What? Well, that's not even the main reason why I was so mad about it. Worst part is how eventually I realized that one of the reasons why they didn't use Red Death was because they would have gotten sued for using Batman, and apparently Batman is so important and Red Death has to be him. Well, they could have changed who he was. Not only that, but they've even had Reverse Flash as the villain for Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. Who Red Death could have been. He could have been Oliver Queen from Another Earth as a speedster. He could have been someone connected to Bloodwork. the possibilities were endless. And apparently it seems like they ran out of ideas, so they just had to throw in a different one. And I actually got so mad about it too. Anyway, although with Red Death, the lack of him was not even the worst part of the season. It was the fact how it was with Eva. I don't think, like I said, I don't think she's necessarily a bad villain. I just think her storyline was very bad. Like, pretty much, she barely does anything at all. It tries to escape the Mirrorverse when she clearly has the power to, and has been trapped there for 6 years. Only she kidnaps Iris and sends a copy of her into the real world to do her bidding. Think about that for a sec. Doesn't that sound stupid? And the dumb thing is how it took her so long to escape that she needed Bloodworks blood to get out of the Mirrorverse. Why? She can teleport through mirrors. Why couldn't she do it? She's even fixed a mirror before. And all those long breaks that we've had, and one of which got delayed. It was an episode that was already filmed that could have been released. And now it ended 3 episodes early with only one fight against Mirror Mistress. And the sad part is about this one being the season of 2 graphic novels, yet one of them feels more dragged out than any of the first 5 main villains. Yes, even Cicada, for those of you who complain about it a lot, which I understand, because that's kind of how I feel about this season. Although the only difference is Cicada has actually fought them, while Eva, on the other hand, didn't until the so-called finale. And the whole thing about Barry losing his speed to from Spectre's energy to use the Speed Force, and it took him, and he's not gotten his speed back even now. Another reason why I did not like the Mirror Iris storyline was literally the season felt more like a drama argument, about drama argument than it did of anything serious. And I've even gotten mad eventually of how after the season Hartley Sawyer got fired for racist tweets from 8 years ago. And that's only because of the whole George Floyd thing. I mean, yes, racism is a bad thing, but it only matters now only because of that. It sounds so stupid. He's changed now, even. And don't even get me started on how everyone was targeting Daniel Pennebaker for that as well. It was so annoying. Well, I'm sorry if I've been bringing up Hartley Sawyer and me ranting about The Flash Season 6, but it's just one of the things of what is making me mad about The Flash right now. And I guaranteed that this was going to be the best season. It was even going to top my number one. I'll actually do my ranking on the seasons, by the way. And I was wrong. And especially, we all wanted to see the best crossover first season with 2 graphic novels. And this is why this was such a disappointing season. I thought, after season 5, I thought they would have learned their mistakes from season 4. And it feels like in order, well, for season 4, the thing I didn't like about it was the whole thing of DeVoe body swapping, and he kept taking over from body to body. And the thing I did not like, I mean, it just got repetitive, and he took over women's bodies, and that the whole thing got weird and cringy. And that's what brought season 4 down for me. Spoiler alert. While for season 6, it feels like one of the reasons why they didn't use Red Death was the fact how, in order to avoid the same scenario as DeVoe, they just did not use him at all, which created an entirely new problem that we've just discussed. Well, I'm just glad that there are some people out there who are actually angry about this and feel my pain. And if you're actually someone who has season 6, who is a bigger fan of season 6 than I am, that's fine. You can have your opinion. Just understand mine, and please don't be a jerk about it in the the comments. Well, was the season bad? No. Disappointing, yeah. Definitely the most frustrating, because there are a lot of stuff that I've actually liked about it too. And I can still enjoy it, although it's just such a huge disappointment of a season. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Well, what'd you guys think of this review? And let me know what you thought of season 6, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agree with me on. And I hope that I didn't make any of you angry at me for some of the things I said. Well, I hope that season 7 does a lot better. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below.